Hey guys, welcome or welcome back. Tisha here, back for another PolyFamily recap. This is season 1, episode 2. Polly wants a baby. I can't even get this thing out without laughing all the way. Let me tell you something. Tyler is petty. Tyler is petty and I love it. I love it because I don't like Sean. That's my first thought. My second thought is these adults have spent 2 episodes telling us that they don't care about paternity. We don't care about who fathered a child. That's not something we want to know. It doesn't matter. We don't want to know because of this, and we don't want to know because of that, and it could cause complications. When the truth is, y'all do care. Because if you don't care, then once it's out there, it shouldn't be that big of a deal. My third thought, let me get this straight. These two men think that it is okay to play switcheroo every other night with these women, being intimate with both of these ladies night after night without utilizing any form of protection or birth control. But Sean has a problem with Alicia wanting to breastfeed a baby that's not biologically hers. Make it make sense, Sean, because some of us have a problem with you having input with children that aren't legally yours, especially given the circumstances that have come out. Because I've seen what you all have written in the comment section about Sean and these allegations that have been made against him from his ex, and that he has other children, and that he cheated on his ex-wife with Taya. I read the comments, and I'm going to do a little bit of my own research to find out some more about that. But as I'm watching this, I can't help but feel like each episode is getting more and more foolish. As a reminder, this is a recap, which means I'm not going to be as detailed as I usually am. If there's something that I forget to mention that you all want to talk about, feel free to put it down in the comment section below. I got this up because I struggle sometimes with remembering who's who. So I figure if I have this up while I'm giving the review, this will help. So we begin the episode with Taya, her husband Sean, her boyfriend Tyler, and her boyfriend's wife Alicia. They're all in the delivery room. To me, it sounds like the beginning of the bad joke, but that's what they're doing. This is the family's last baby because what we learn later on in the episode is that at some point during her pregnancy, Sean and Tyler both got vasectomies. Let me say this. I think that it's awesome that these two men were willing to do that, because a lot of times men want the women to do something to their body. So it's nice to know that these men stepped up and did something on their own. That's the least they could do since these women have birthed their children. I'm beginning to wonder, though, if all the kids aren't Tyler's. Just my thoughts. Y'all tell me yours. So Taya is worrying that all of her people, her partners, as she calls them, will not be able to be at her birth. She doesn't know if they're going to understand the situation or respect it. The guys are in this room with her while she's giving labor, and they still have not dealt with their issues. They still haven't dealt with Sean being a jerk to Tyler or his daughter, and Tyler kind of saying something about it. So there's obvious tension because of that argument, but they're not going to address it because they want to focus on Taya. So after being in labor for over 24 hours, I don't know the exact time. I was taking notes. I don't know if they even put it on the screen. I know at one point it was 11 o'clock one morning, then the next it was 10 o'clock another morning, and she was still in labor. So I'm going to say that she was there for over 24 hours because we know she didn't have the baby till later on. So after all that time, there is no change to her cervix, which I heard at one point they said 2 centimeters. So they've decided to schedule her for a cesarean. I don't know what they have going on in Oregon hospitals, but apparently it's different there because I'm accustomed to them not allowing so many people in the delivery room for cesarean. I know when my cousin had hers, the only person, well, both of my cousins actually had one. One almost 2 years ago, and the other one a couple months ago. And in those instances, their husbands were the only people allowed in the room. So hearing that this is a situation where all of these extra bodies are allowed in the room, I was surprised that they did it. I personally, if my stomach is being cut open, I wouldn't want those many people in the delivery room. I get that they give you scrubs and all those other things. I just wouldn't feel comfortable with it. That's my opinion. Tell me yours. Um, so Taya is excited. She feels like it's great that all of them could be in there. And if I were in the situation where I wanted that like she did, I would understand why that would be a big deal for her. So the baby is born at 4:11 p.m. His name is Quentin. We're going to hear them call him Q a lot, so I may refer to him as Q. To confuse him, in my opinion, even further, they give him both last names, so they hyphenate it. Apparently, that is what they've done with all of the children that have been born since they have all been together. I don't like this. I don't think it's right. I don't think that this might come across as judgmental, and I like to consider myself somebody who's not a very judgmental person, but when it comes to this, I guess I am, because I don't feel like it's right to do this. Like, y'all are confusing to me. Imagine being a child and they ask you what's your name and you say my name is White Wrong, and they're like, why is your name White Wrong? Oh, because I don't know who my right daddy is. Like, you see what I'm saying here? I don't like it. So the baby is 9 pounds and 2 ounces. Sean is going to be the only person listed as the father on the birth certificate, though, because he is married to Taya. That's what they do in Oregon. This, of course, makes Tyler jealous because he would love to be able to have his name on the birth certificate, probably because it's really his kids. Y'all tell me what you think. So we jump to 2 weeks later. It still feels awkward with the guys. They still haven't dealt with their situation. They are handing this little young man, they're handing baby Q from adult to adult to adult like he's a hot potato. And they're all kissing him in the face. And y'all, I was never that parent. My son was my son, and I did not kiss him in the face because I have sensitive skin, and we've since learned his skin is even more sensitive than ours. And I just couldn't imagine just putting random lips on my baby. Like, I didn't like the idea of that. I would like kiss him like in his little neck area or smell him a lot, but I wasn't big on putting my mouth on his mouth. No, no. Now I'm not gonna sit here and act like I never kissed my child in the mouth. That's not what I'm saying. And don't go there with the negative comments. What I'm saying, which it shouldn't be a thing because this fam doesn't get down like that. But in case there are any strangers that come through, don't do the negativity. I'm just saying that I don't like with everything that's gone on, with the fact that y'all are working outside the home, with the fact that there's still a pandemic around and things of that nature, I don't think I would be so inclined to put my face in my baby's face, especially now. So Taya seems to be struggling with breastfeeding. The baby is not latching on, which means she's concerned because the baby is not getting enough milk. The baby's weight has not picked back up. So the doctor too is a little concerned, and they're going to kind of monitor the situation to see how things change. I know that it does take a little while for your milk to come in. I remember because I breastfed my son for a year. And I remember in the beginning, not only was it extremely painful, but I remember he just seemed like he just couldn't get enough, that he wanted more and more and more. And the lactation specialist told me, like, don't worry about that. It's going to come in. You just make sure that you're getting in enough calories and you're eating right so that the baby can get what the baby needs. And very early on, I did see a change. And in his initial appointment, it went down, but it came back up. So I understood what she was saying when she was talking about that weight. But I think that that happens with a lot of, babies, at least the ones that I know who've been breastfed. I don't think it's just a Taya thing, right? She wants to breastfeed. So she says that even though he's struggling to latch, she's going to make sure that she makes this happen. I feel badly, you guys. I do. I feel badly for moms who struggle with this. I feel like when I was pregnant, because I didn't struggle, because it was nothing for me to fill up a couple of bottles when pumping, that I kind of took for granted the ability to do that. I've since talked to others who weren't as successful. And one of the things that I hate that, mothers or women tend to do is they beat themselves up when they feel like there's something that they should be doing that their body isn't allowing them to do. And if there's any one of you who are having that problem, don't beat yourself up about it. Don't, because it's beyond your control. Like, ideally, if you want to breastfeed, you want to be able to do it, but sometimes it doesn't happen. And I give props to Taya for still trying, because it isn't an easy thing to do. Add on top of that, trying to remain calm and not be frustrated and things of like that for your child, because you want to make sure that your child is comfortable and all those other things. I'm glad that she's trying, but I also want her to make sure that she's paying attention to the baby, that the baby is, picking up weight, because there are times where you are going to have to put that child on some type of supplement formula if it doesn't work, right? So we see Sean holding the baby. Alicia is talking about how she loves this little cowlick that he has in his hair. And she's saying to her daughter, like, you have a cowlick in the back of your head, and dad has one in the front of his head. And I don't even know if she realizes that, but you're kind of doing some comparisons here that would make us think as viewers that this is Tyler's kid. So production asks Taya, who does, baby Quentin look like? And Taya says, me. That's the safest answer. I think it's hard to tell when they're babies. I know, like, when my son first came out, I thought that he looked so much like his father, right? And he did a little bit at first, but he quickly changed into me when we saw our baby pictures. It was like, oh no, that's all you. Like, without a doubt, that's all you. And that's just what happens. Like, we change. I used to look a lot like my father. The other day, my father was like, wow, you really look like your mother's side of the family. You're not as, light as her, but you look a lot like your mom's side of the family. But I'm like, Daddy, it's okay. I'll always have your eyes. So I'll always look like you. But I do see changes in myself. So I know they're probably seeing changes in this kid, right? So Tyler tells us about how, first of all, that's why I say Tyler was being petty the whole time. Y'all tell me what you think. Tyler is smirking. You see this smile that he has on his face here? Tyler has a natural smirk when he talks. And for somebody who looks as serious as Sean, because most of the time this is Sean's face, and most of the time that's Tyler's face, I know that it irritates the mess out of Sean that he has to look at this smug individual who's impregnated his wife. Look at that face. So he has that little smug look on his face, right? And he's like, I mean, you know, the baby looks like me. He has a cowlick like me. No, he said he has a cowlick. So do I. He has dimples. So do I. And he is over there like gleaming as he talks about how this kid looks like him. Then you got Sean, who's on the couch, and he's telling us how people, especially in the family, like to speculate who Q looks like. But he says, I don't care about that because I don't care about paternity. The lie detector determined that's a lie. It is a lie. Because yes, you do. Because at the end of the episode, you basically say it. If you didn't care, then once you found out, or no, let's take it a step back. If you didn't care, then you would have found out what the paternity was the moment that that child was born. So you do care. It is so obvious that these men do not like each other. I will go as far as saying they despise each other. Y'all tell me what you think. So Alicia and Tyler later go head to this child store to get some clothes for Q. I always feel like it's weird that they're in these expensive looking stores, but they probably are only allowed to film in those because I'm sure like Target or Wally World or one of those, bigger stores, Macy's, whatever, JC Penney. I don't know. I feel like some people you may not get the clearance to film, right? So they're in this boutique and they are there to buy some clothes for the baby. Alicia says that she enjoys going clothes shopping with Tyler. Like if she goes clothes shopping for the kids or anything like that, that's the person that she wants to go with because Tyler is very much so into it. He thinks it's fun, whereas Sean is more stringent. Her words, not mine. I think what she wants to say is Sean doesn't let me get what I want, but Tyler does. Or maybe even the fact that Tyler has more of a sense of style than Sean does. So, as they're talking, they decide that it might be a good idea to do a sip and see, like their version of it. So Alicia and Tyler call Taya, run it past her. She says, yeah, they're like, everybody's going to want to come by and see the baby. Instead of having to worry about all those people coming in and out, why don't we go ahead and just say, like, let's do this, sip and see thing. So people from their friends and their family can come. Tyler is hoping that his mother and sister will come, but he's not sure if they're going to come because he says they don't want to. I can't remember if he said be on camera or if they don't want to claim him publicly. And I feel like that's a little bit of a big ask. They didn't ask to be on this television show. You did. They didn't sign up for it. You did. So be careful with what it is that you expect of them. So we see Sean helping Taya hang up things in the nursery room for Q. Taya claims that Sean is the baby whisperer. She loves seeing him be a dad. That my words, once you get past the jerk that we see, he's a great dad. Y'all, when I say that I laughed at this part because he's supposed to be the baby whisperer, but the moment that the baby is making any type of sound, he looks flustered to me. So he's holding the baby, right? He got the baby like this, right? He's holding the baby. He's being the baby whisperer. And the baby's like, yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, he got his fist in his mouth. Yeah, yeah, yeah. He's like, "What's wrong? What's wrong, bud? What's going on, bud? What's wrong?" Oh, yeah. Mm-mm. Yeah, the baby. He's the baby whisperer. Yeah. He's like, "Oh, I think that the problem is something that I can't fix. I think the problem is something that, mommy has to fix." And I'm like, "Okay, he's the baby whisperer. Maybe I'm being petty here because I don't like Sean." But I said, some baby whisperer, like you look like the second he started crying that you got a little bit flustered there. So, Alicia and Taya have figured out their crap. They put effort into their relationship, but Taya admits that the men are in the place where she and Alicia were in the beginning, which is that they're not really getting along, that they aren't making time to get to know one another. I just feel like they never wanted to. You all can talk about this being a partnership all you want to, but these are partners who have gotten together because the women wanted to do things with the men. The men don't care for one another. And I feel like if you're going to have a situation like this with four people and the men don't have intimate relations with one another and the women don't have intimate relations with one another, then you got to at least be friends. They're not friends. They're not even really that cordial. Everything is short and you can sense the energy and the awkwardness behind it. And I just feel like, what kind of dynamic does that create for the kids in this household? You want to talk about parenting this and parenting that, and they got all these pictures all over the walls of this happy family. It's like, how when you go on social media, right? We all have these people. We all know these people because I have some friends that have done it themselves, and I kind of called them out on it. You sit there and post like you have just this ideal, perfect family, right? Right? Like life is so great when behind the scenes is trash. I feel like that's what they're kind of giving us here. I think that they're trying to present like they're this united front, and we're seeing very quickly on that they aren't united, that there's a lot of animosity there and a lot of tension and things of that nature. So Alicia wants to not only help Taya, but she also wants to be able to bond with the baby. Because previously, when Taya had her last child, Alicia's child, I think she said, was 7 months, and she was still breastfeeding and doing things on her own. So she couldn't bond with not Alicia's, with Taya's child the way that she wanted to. And she's trying to make sure that this time that she does. And now that this is the family's last child and she has a child that, she could kind of break away from more to help Taya, she's trying to do that in any way she can. So she announces that she has a little bit of milk and she thinks it would be a good idea to meet with the lactation consultant so that she could breastfeed. I was a little surprised by that. Now, Taya and Tyler think that it's a great idea. Sean immediately thinks that it's weird. The expression that you see right here is the expression that he always has. Without fail, this is how he looks. The only difference is he goes between having a little bit of red in his cheeks to having a whole bunch of red. This is him. So he thinks it's weird. She didn't birth the baby. I hear what you're saying, sir. Um, I, would kind of get it if this weren't a situation where you men weren't swapping, out women left and right. I may agree with that. But seeing how you and Tyler both share the same titties on alternate nights. Like, let's be clear. All right, let's be clear here. These men, every other night, they're with different. So I got you this night, you got her that night, then we swap. You mean to tell me that it's okay for the two of you all, because let's be clear, we're grown here. At some point, your mouth may be on her breast. So it's okay for you and Tyler to do that, but it's not okay for Q to go from one mom's chest to the other? Hmm. Interesting. I was just wondering, I was just wondering. I personally, it's not for me. I never was comfortable with another woman breastfeeding my child because number one, that's my child, that's my bond. Number two, I can't monitor what it is that you're putting in your body, and what goes into your body goes into my child's body, and it's not for me. However, I understand that there are people who do this because they want to make sure that their babies get that nutrition, because they say that, breast milk does all these different things for babies with their development and things of that nature. So I'm not knocking it. It just was odd to me how against it Sean seemed to be, but he said he wasn't against it. He just thought it was weird. Um, Alicia says she wants to do this to Bond, and Sean tells her to lay on the floor and play with him. He's such a jerk. So we don't get to see it, but she meets with the lactation consultant. She's told some different things she could do, like massaging her breast, and to start with putting a pump on for like 15 minutes for 2 to 3 hours, I think she said. Like every 2 to 3 hours, I'm sorry. So, she's telling him, like, massaging the breast, and he's, like, massaging it like what you would do with a cow otter, like that, and, he's acting like he doesn't understand what she's saying. He's acting like he doesn't get it, when from what I understand, this isn't your first child. You had children with your previous wife, so why are you acting like this is such a foreign concept to massage your breast? Did you not go to any parenting classes? Did you not read any books? I'm just wondering. So it's party time. Mimosas are on deck. Friends are there. Taylor's people are there. A few of Alicia's cousins are there. Tyler's sister is there. Tyler is upset that his mom wasn't willing to be there. As I said earlier, you're getting paid for this. She isn't. Not only that, it doesn't really seem like she's really on board with this situation. She has every right not to come on camera. Guess what? I'm on YouTube. If my friends, if my family, if my man, if my son decide that they never ever want to be on this channel, then so be it. I have to respect it. It's their choice. So for you to feel away because she didn't come here, I just feel like that was a little selfish of Tyler. So his sister says that her family is closed-minded to this whole idea of this thing, and that when Tyler first announced that he was in this polygamous relationship, that she did not talk to him for a while, that she was concerned about, her niece and nephew. As for their mom, she even said it to Tyler that, mom tolerates this situation because she wants to be around her grandkids. That no one will probably ever fully accept it. And Alicia's like, it's okay as long as they're, not being mean or deliberately like not inviting us to things or things of that nature. They have every right to. If they don't want you to come, then they don't want you to come. You can't get upset because they've decided for you not to be somewhere. So let's talk about this blood type situation. Taya and Tyler took the baby to his doctor's appointment, right? See how things are going. The baby's doing great. At that appointment, they find out his weight, his height, all the good things, and his blood type. Now, I don't remember them telling me my son's blood type at the appointment. They might have or not. We've come to learn many years ago that my son is the same as his father, and he can give away all the blood that he wants because they really, really desire it, to the point where they've done power up. They did a power up on my 17-year-old, which really ticked me off. But anyways, that's where they take a whole bunch of blood, right? Because they need it. If you can give blood, give blood. I have had people save me from blood. I don't want to say save me, because it sounds so much more dramatic than it felt to me. But I had to have, a transfusion done when I was pregnant. So I'm not going to sit here and, yeah, it's important. If you can give, give. Anyways, so Sean gets a text message, and no, they find all that out. He puts it in the text message. Tyler puts it in the text message, right? So Sean sends a text message to Taya. He doesn't respond in the group. This is the passive aggressiveness that I'm talking about. This is the division that I'm talking about. They want us to feel like they're this united front, but they do things that show that they're not. So he gets a text message, gets on his phone, picks up the phone. He's with Alicia at the time. We find that out later. And he doesn't say anything to Alicia about it. Instead, what does he do? He texts his wife, Taya. And he says, just got Q's blood test results. I guess we know who the dad is, ... Turns out Tyler has O negative blood, and the baby has O negative blood too. So Sean assumes that Tyler is the father. He says he found this out from the internet. So did you look this up after he said it, Sean? Or did you already know this? Because from my understanding, there is still a possibility for a B parent or for both B parents if they're heterozygous. Y'all, it's been a long time. I took bio when I was in 9th grade. Shout out to James Madison in Brooklyn. If they are heterozygous, I think that there's like a 25% chance or something like that. Either way, there's a small window that this child can still have O blood, right? So y'all are sitting here, and now because he said this, everybody's in a tiff. But it was clear that y'all already had a feeling that the baby was Tyler's. You're not going to sit here and tell me that you have a child with someone and you don't look at that child naturally and feel like, oh, my baby looks like me this, my baby looks like that. It's a natural thing. Oh, look at my nose, look at my eyes, look at my mouth. The other day, my son, y'all judge me all you want to. I always told my son, don't stick up his middle finger at people. We used to watch Mr. Bean together. Mr. Bean, at one point when he was in New York City, somebody flicked him off, and then he started flicking people off too. So my son said he wishes he could do that. And I said, don't do that. Just stick up your middle finger. So the other day, my son wanted something. I can't remember what he wanted, but I said something smart to him. And he said, oh, yeah. And he sent me a picture with his middle finger, not his middle finger. Let me fix it. Let me fix it. His pinky finger, which is representation of his middle finger. Don't judge me. This is our dynamic. Anyway, so I was looking at his finger and I was like, oh my gosh, Look at his nail beds. They're so long. They're so pretty. You see my nail bed, y'all? Where's the camera? You see it? It looks long, but my nail bed is not long. Without any little bit of nail, I look like I got a nubba dubba. I got little short, stumpy things. I'm 5'2". The doctor may say 5'1.5", but I'm telling you, I'm 5'2". And I was looking and I was like, oh, they're so pretty. They look so much like your father's. So you can't tell me that these people aren't sitting here looking at this baby saying, oh, that looks so much like me. Come on now. So rather than looking up this information themselves because they're incapable of it, he goes and they believe what he says, or Taya believes what he says. So Taya goes to Tyler and says, what did you do? Hold on one second. My friend's calling me. I got to answer. Hey guys, I'm back. If I told you I was gone for like an hour and a half talking on the phone, you wouldn't believe me, but I was. So let's finish this up. I think I said that Taya ends up going to Tyler to talk to him about what happened with the whole text message situation. My question is, okay, so Tyler says he didn't realize what that would mean. He didn't mean to hurt him. Do y'all believe that? Do y'all believe it? Lena, tell me, do y'all believe it? Because I don't believe it. I don't. I think that Tyler was making little comments here and there to make it known that he was a father anyway, and I don't know if he necessarily knew the blood type thing would do something, but I think he knew that it would get under Sean's skin. So Tyler admits that he's happy to know that that's his kid. Sean, of course, is irritated. So later on, there's this pre-scheduled community event where they go and play dodgeball. That's kind of cute. Makes me wonder about the community that they live in. But anyway, they all meet up to go play dodgeball. And for whatever reason, you got Tyler introducing his wife and his girlfriend and all the other stuff. I never understand why on these shows they feel the need to say that they're polygamous. I know that when I go out in public, I don't say, "Hi, my name is Tisha and I'm a monogamous." That's just not a part of conversation. If you see a guy with me, I don't even have to introduce who he is for real, for real. It's not adding up. Anyways, so Tyler is wearing this AC/DC shirt, I think it is, and it says da da, like it has a da with like a lightning bolt da. Now, Sean says he's worn it before, but I looked at that shirt and I said, yeah, Tyler is really, really petty. Because to me, that's like rubbing it in. I'm the dada. I might be looking too far. Let me know. So, as I said, Sean is irritated with Tyler. Sean is taking out his frustration on Tyler as they're playing dodgeball because he's being very intense. Now, Tyler is laughing. Sean is not. As usual, I told you it's the same face throughout the whole thing, right? The main person that Sean is throwing balls at, even though there's a plethora of people, is Tyler. He has an attitude. He wants to know why Tyler is smiling, why he's laughing, why he's having such a great time. And the wives are noticing that this is going on, that he's kind of like targeting, him. Sean says, seeing him laugh and smile and be carefree is pissing me off. As I said earlier, Sean is the person who said that paternity doesn't matter to him. So if it doesn't matter, Tyler smiling and laughing shouldn't be pissing you off. So Sean leaves early under the excuse of putting the little boys to bed. He also has their daughter with him. I personally, with the way that he treats Raina, would not allow him to do that. I don't trust that man. And then I've also read what y'all put about the allegations that have been put out there about him. And he seems like he's just very vindictive to me. And it's no telling what he may do. Hopefully, nothing has happened ever to that child. So Taya tells Alicia about the text that Sean sent her, and Alicia is surprised because she knew nothing about it. Alicia says she feels bad for him, but she's also upset because she didn't even know that this was going on, that they were together when Tyler sent out that message and he didn't even say anything. He didn't even confide in her. And she's like, all the time, this is a thing when it comes to Sean, he doesn't tell me how he's feeling. I always have to hear it from Taya or from Tyler because Taya told him, which lets me know exactly what this situation is. They can sit here and lie as much as they want to lie. When it comes down to it, these husband and wives dynamic are always going to trump anything else. They don't even realize that they have biases when it comes to the situation. Because why is it that he sent that message just to Taya and he didn't send it to all of you all? Or why didn't he send it to, both of you women? Ooh, I also feel like when it comes to this situation, Alicia didn't seem that upset about that news. And it's making me feel like the real person that they didn't want to know who the paternity of the kids were was Sean. Because I wouldn't be surprised if all of them know that Sean ain't the father of none of them kids. I'm terrible. I know I'm terrible. You guys, that is all I have for the Poly family. If there's something that I left out and you want to put it down below, feel free to do so. Like the video as it helps the channel. Until next time.